Welcome to Prodigy Sport Stations. P.S.A. podcast is an unconventional podcast that challenges the audience to think outside the box using real-life experiences, clever narratives, original quotes, and the creative use of satire in order to break the audience free from negative paradigms and push them towards their own personal growth. This is by no means a method to condemn or bash the audience, but instead encourage and showcase a different perspective that might not have been seen before. P.S.A. is designed to showcase to the listeners that the power of the mind is not a joke, and if a person can learn to control their mind and their thoughts, they will ultimately control their life. This podcast serves as a means of entertainment and educational purposes only, and not a replacement for therapy or any other type of professional help that the audience may desire. People live in the past. That's what I think. I feel like people living in the past, y'all going off something from the 18 and 1900s. And yeah, I do be saying, what y'all doing? Catting? Mm-hmm. Y'all out there catting.
Yeah, okay.
Before we get started with today's episode, we have to give a shout out to a few of our sponsors. Shout out to the sponsor for today's episode, CanIBeFamous.com, a website that will teach you the steps and give you the keys to becoming the biggest influencer and taking your life to the next level. You'll become an online superstar without having to sell your soul or buy fake followers, and take your business or brand to a level that supersedes what you could have ever imagined. Start your business at the website CanIBeFamous.com, all lowercase, or hit up Country Cowboy on Instagram for more information. Listen, I understand it's hard to be nutritious in today's society. That's where Juice Plus comes in. Juice Plus is a branded line of dietary supplements containing concentrated fruit and vegetable juice extracts fortified with added vitamins and nutrients, all right? It's something that'll help you get all the vegetables and fruits that you need daily. All you got to do is take some capsules and do that, and you'll see an increase in your immune system. You'll notice you just feel lighter and healthier throughout the day. I'm using myself, so I know the stuff works. Like I said, it's hard to get your fruits and vegetables in, because in reality, to keep up with all the fruits and vegetables that you need daily, it's kind of impossible. So this makes it very possible. I'm also a partner. If you would like to get some Juice Plus, starting with different plans that can be set up for you that is affordable and to keep them coming monthly, hit me up on Instagram _EasyBakeOven or Twitter _EasyBakeOven. I'll hook you up.
I'm back and it's up, P.S.A. I'm too flick to take off all my shit at T.S.A.
All right, good morning, good evening. I am thy neighbor. And we are back with P.S.A. Podcast. I don't know if y'all know this, but we only got 5 episodes left. All right, before season 5 ends, by the time the episode comes, we'll figure out who won the election. We'll figure out if the world will just explode. I don't know what's going to happen next, but I do know that I'm going to be here regardless. So, yeah. Anyway, today we have a great episode. It's always great, but today I really like this one because it's something near and dear to my heart. All right, today's episode is titled Children of the Corn. The meme reads, "You can be selfish, aggressive, and spoiled even if you grew up with siblings. Stop the madness." All right. The inspiration comes from a quote by Ian Banks that says, "I am an only child, so I'm happy with my own company and don't really get lonely." And another quote by Natalie Portman that says, "I'm an only child," which is kind of bad because having a brother-sister is like another form of friendship. That's something I missed out on, except I know I couldn't be doing what I'm doing now if I had brothers and sisters. And me, I get tired of the stereotypes. I get tired of people saying little stupid comments like, "Oh, you just like it because you're only child," or "You this because you're only child." And I'm like, that's not necessarily true, but, whatever. So it is what it is. But today, to help me out with this topic, I have 2 guests. We're going to start left and go lefter. Tell me, what's your name? Where you from?
My name is Drika, and I'm from Houston, Texas.
Right.
Eric from Chicago.
All right, so both of these guests, kind of similar fashion to the last set of guests, have done episodes before. Derek did the one with suicide in season 2, and Drika did the one with enjoying being single. One of my better series thus far with J Vibe, and it was a vibe. All right. So, When you hear the word starting left and going left, only child, what's the first word that comes to your mind?
Alone.
Lonely.
Okay. When you hear the word sibling, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
That's a good one. I'm sorry, that's a good one.
He stumped already.
That's a good one.
Okay, so he ain't get it yet. He ain't get it. It's all right. It's okay. We're going to move on. All right. So I went ahead and defined the title, which is Children of the Corn. So first off, when it comes to the title, you know, I call it Children of the Corn because I feel like to the world, only children looked at as children of the corn. And I don't like it because the definition, according to Urban Dictionary, says unbelievably creepy kids who live in Iowa and kill their parents. Now, this is the other definition from Urban Dictionary. Okay, speaking of Urban Dictionary, I'm still mad at them. Everybody asks why I'm mad at them.
Why are you mad?
Oh, okay. Why are you mad? I thought you was gonna follow up with that naturally.
Same
so,
here, yeah.
I mean,
Okay, well, thank you for asking. I'm mad at them because I submitted to them a phrase and they didn't use it.
what phrase?
Cat nigga.
What the hell is a cat nigga?
Exactly.
Okay, so a cat nigga is a person where it's like, you cat. Like, it's something you say. It started, my homegirl, Adrian, started it, but she stopped saying it, so I kept it going. But it was like, you a cat nigga.
I thought you meant like cat, like meow. Is it meow?
Well, I mean,
cat, nigga?
people meow
or
too.
cap?
C-A-T.
Cat.
Cat. Oh, so like cat
Like you
nigga.
cat.
Like
Yeah,
a,
you a cat.
what's a cat? Like a cat daddy?
So you turn like you cat, like you pussy.
I mean,
Oh.
it's that.
Oh.
But somebody asked if that's what it meant. Not really, but I mean, if you, it's one of them words. Just look, I don't know, but they turned it down, and I had a whole definition. I gave them sentences. They said we're gonna turn this word down.
Can I hear a sentence? What's like what?
Come on, teacher.
I think I said something like, what did I say? I said something to the extent of, they didn't take out the trash. That was very cat of you.
Ooh.
And then the other one was like.
I thought the word was cat nigga.
Well, okay, yeah, but you can just refer to somebody as a cat too. He was like, "These niggas is cats. Niggas is cats. Young ladies is cats."
So what do you call a group of cats? You just
Oh my
y'all
God,
catting?
that's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do be saying what y'all doing, catting.
Catting.
Mm-hmm, y'all out there catting.
Yeah, okay. Cattish show. Okay, cat vibes.
It was real cat. Yeah.
Cat vibes.
All right, but so then the other definition with Children of the Corn that I thought was crazy was, it says a very nasty bush on a chick that has not exercised proper grooming and hygiene, resulting in poor agricultural sight between her thighs.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to say what I want to say. Who wrote that?
Somebody said agricultural bush.
Now this is a very in-depth definition, and you know, next time, you know, fellas, you get your girl, be like, dang, your children of the corn is children of the corning.
Oh my goodness!
No.
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 I don't think so.
That's weak. No.
That's
Children of the corn.
saying that is equivalent to eating candy corn.
I don't think. No, I'm just playing. I don't eat that. That I don't eat. I eat pumpkin, but I don't do candy corn. Now, candy corn is trifling. You know, as a girl, somebody. We getting all off topic today. But look, it was this girl. She was on Instagram, no, Twitter, and she was. And she had made a post and was like, "Can somebody make me these?" And it was some candy corn cookies. And hold on, and so she made, it was basically chocolate chip cookies just with candy corn instead. And so she was like, I was reading the comments. It was, people was like, "You stupid hoe, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna murder you, I'm gonna beat your ass." And I'm like, bruh. And then she said, the fact that people are really threatening my life over these cookies is ridiculous. People was really, she said, people are in my DMs threatening to kill me.
That's what was funny to me. You posted it, and I was weak at the comments. I'm like,
I
people
remember
is dead ass, like, dumbass.
They was pissed.
Candy corn cookies.
Who allowed you to live? Like,
Yeah, they was saying all crazy stuff.
They was ready to hang up. What she did.
They was gonna hang her. She was gonna be hanging with the candy corn by her feet.
Am I not a little hot? It's a little hot.
It's a little hot in here. You hot?
You you got full gear on.
I mean, I just thought.
That's how she got on her Corona gear, y'all. But
she geared up.
All right, so finally, getting back on topic because we got off for a minute. According to SusanNewmanPD.com, it says proponents of large or larger families claim your only child will be spoiled, lonely, or selfish, or worse. These social stereotypes and others date back to the late 1890s and have no basis in fact. Probably never did. It is a parenting style more than the number of siblings that influences how an only child, or any child for that matter, turns out. So I like that because I hate how, personally, being an only child and having friends that was only children, first of all, we have several traits that are in common. I will say we will disappear without saying anything.
I thought that was just me. I do that all the time.
I will disappear and not say nothing. I get tired of people quick.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
But they say they all extra. They not all extra. Most of the ones I know are actually pretty chill.
I think we're the
chill. Yeah, for the ones I know, for the most part, even back home and here, they're pretty chill.
I'm just naturally, but both my parents extra, so I ain't had no choice.
And I like what you just said about getting tired. I get tired of people quick, and I'm not an only child.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, because that's why I hate these stereotypes. I was like, oh, people get tired of people quick, or they are selfish, and I'm like, that's not true.
No.
Because you're not at all.
I'm not selfish.
At all. But, I don't know. So then it says, my question is, and I'll go over mine afterwards. As somebody that grew up as an only child, like, what did you hear the most about you?
I heard that I was spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really appreciate that. A lot of it came from my siblings, like on my dad's side. So, like, my dad, like, I have 4 sisters and 1 brother. So, child support took up his whole check. So, when he would get paid, it was go all to them. So, it was my mother's family. They would step in, do things for me for Christmas and birthdays and stuff like that. And they saw that. And they said, oh, you spoiled, you getting all the money. And I don't get no money. Y'all getting all the dad's money. This is literally my mom's family doing this for me.
Right.
So they didn't understand that about me. And they really don't know that to this day. Because, like, one of my sisters, like, you was always spoiled and you ain't want me touching your stuff and stuff. Well, that was just me because I'm particular about people touching things. But I don't think I was spoiled at all. I don't think so.
And now, someone who grew up with siblings, now, you only had 1 blood sister. No, you don't. You got hellas.
Hold on now.
You had 1 that lived in the house, but you got a bunch of them.
Yeah, so technically with my situation, before my sister was born, I was never by myself. Because, like, my cousin Chris was always over the house. Everybody was always at our house. And my grandfather didn't believe in kicking people out. Mm-hmm. So, like, a lot of cousins would stay with us. So I was never alone like that. So I always had to grow up sharing. So that's why I'm used to being able to share with people. I don't mind living with people, but now I'm at a point in my life that I live with people so much. It's like I'm finally getting to enjoy being by myself, learning what it's like to be by yourself and stuff like that, learning to be selfish.
Mm-hmm. And I did an episode of that a few weeks ago where people try to, like, demonize people for worrying about themselves. Now, of course, if you self-centered all the time, that's different. Yeah. But you need to worry about you sometimes, and I feel like people don't do that enough. Now, I will say, when we talking about, you said your grandpa was like, he Caribbean, so of course they don't believe in kicking people out. Yeah. But my mama ain't even answering the door. If you didn't call her and let her know you was coming. So that wasn't happening there with us. She wasn't to see my mama's only child too. But even if she wasn't, because my grandma, they had, brothers and sisters and stuff, but what you letting the people stay in your house for? Hey, let nobody come stay at your house. But they're a different culture, so of course that's why they, All right, so coming up with my homemade statistics, all right? I said 1 in 4 people are jealous of only children. 1 in 8 people feel that you'll be better off if you grow up with siblings. Half people think that all only children are selfish. And every other person think they need at least 10 kids. Oh my goodness. I know somebody that said they want like 10 kids, but I feel like, how can you have a relationship with 10 kids? Oh my goodness.
That's hard because somebody can be felt left out. That's how it goes. That goes with, people know that goes with a lot of siblings. You got that one sibling that feel like, well, such and such gets more than what I get. Or gets more and that does happen. I know friends that are siblings that feel like that. You can tell initially just because they could be the middle child, they used to call it the middle child syndrome. That's another thing too. Like, for example, with my little sister, on her dad's side, she's the middle. Mm-hmm. So her relationship with her sister, the oldest and the youngest, are not the best. But then they kind of like point at her like, oh, she gets everything she gets. She doesn't get everything, but she just have a relationship with the grandmother, is what y'all supposed to do as well. So I feel for my sister because she don't really have the relationship that she wants to have. But being a middle child, she's more of a relaxed, and people think like, oh, she just don't care or she's spoiled, but she's not. She just speaks to the grandparents, and that's another issue. A lot of people don't. Right. When it comes to siblings on your dad's side, the siblings that don't live with you, that's a different.
Yeah. My grandma, one of them passed away, but the other one that's alive, Evelyn V. Williams. I'm her only grandchild. So it was like, with me, it was like, not only you the only child, parents got good money, your grandma, you the only grandchild on your mama's side. Then your daddy grandma or daddy mama, she had $1 million. There was $1 million of them. It was too many. But, she could cook. She could cook real good. I haven't never had nobody's granny food that was nasty.
I ain't saying no names.
That's a blessing, but I can't say that I can say the same. I really can't say the same.
I just can't remember.
I've had some questionable food from some elders.
Some
elders.
I'm crying. All right.
I ain't gonna stun y'all. I'm talking about my granny. I don't eat her food.
She can't cook.
My daddy mom? What? In my opinion, I don't think she can.
Maybe she lost her touch.
I'm sorry, Glenda. I love you, bro.
No,
first of all, you said the name. Like, you could have just said Granny.
Yeah, I said Glenda.
Sick of these niggas. COVID-19.
Cat.
All right. According to the healthline.com, it says, but the only child syndrome theory hasn't always been around. It didn't come into existence until the late 1800s. This is when child psychologists G. Stanley Hall and E.W. Bohannon used a questionnaire to study and categorize children with a number of different traits. Hall oversaw the study. Both had ideas based on what was published in the early 1900s. So I've come to the conclusion that, people live in the past. That's what I think. I feel like people living in the past, y'all going off something from the 18 and 1900s, and I don't believe everything from the past is fake, but a lot of stuff is not as 100 as they said it was. And even as I'm talking now, I know a lot of people that are aggressive. They got a house full of brothers and sisters. But see, here's the thing though with that. I feel like they probably developed that because it's like they had to be seen. It was too many of them, so it's like, I gotta be seen. I gotta do something to, get the attention. Because some people like attention, good or bad. They don't care.
I feel like there are syndromes even with siblings, like the youngest person sibling. Like I had students before where they were the youngest, so they were naturally aggressive because they always had to force themselves to protect their things or their items because they would get pushed around by their big brothers. So I think that we ain't the only ones with issues, but I feel like siblings within themselves have certain traits. Definitely. Like younger siblings compared to older siblings who want to carry everything and be everybody's boss.
Yeah. Also, since I'm speaking, I am the older sibling, so it's like that is a syndrome because it's like I feel like for me it's pressure. It's like you're the oldest, so they're looking at you. So it's like, what are you doing? So you make sure you want to lead by a good example. Yes. Make sure you want to map out, especially when you got a little brother. Little sisters too, same thing too. But being the oldest is like everybody's looking at you. You got to be the example. Then the middle is the middle. They're trying to fit between the middle and the youngest of being them. And then you got the youngest, they give because they're the baby. Yeah. So either they're getting baby foul, like you said, they're trying to guard themselves because they're the youngest, or touching their stuff or taking their stuff.
So how many siblings do you have?
Okay. Overall, all right, people. On my dad's side, it's 7. Okay. 7 of us total, including me. Okay. So on my mom's side, it's just 1. So, yeah. Okay, gotcha. So I got 7 siblings, basically.
Gotcha.
Have y'all as a unit hung out or done anything?
Well, see, this is
No,
Well, okay, so recently I met my little brother and my little sister. I met them when they were young. Because my mom's friend worked with my little sister, little brother's baby mother. Mm-hmm. So my mom, they met and we went to a birthday party. That's how I met them. Because my dad at the time, he wasn't saying anything. My mama found out.
Yeah.
And then on child support, people don't know that you see the names of how many kids the father has. So I always knew the sister that was close to my age. We met one time in 5th grade. My dad took us to Applebee's. We didn't even say much to each other. So I think a couple years later, my mom got on his ass because she was like, they need to meet because they're around the same age. Yeah. So what if they meet up in a party somewhere and don't realize they're siblings? You know what I'm saying? It made a valid point. So one day,
session with your sister.
So he made a valid point. So one day I'm on Facebook. My little cousin, which is my dad's sister's daughter, she sent my sister's Facebook page. So I'm like, that's my sister. I already knew my sister. I always wanted to link with her. So it was like my sophomore year going to my junior year of high school. So we linked, and then ever since then, it was like a joint at the hip. Plus, we're close in age, so it was like, you know.
Right, it just worked out.
More time to spend, even though I really wish that being younger that we had more memories. I feel like we got to make up for a lot of memories we didn't have. And then plus, like, we had 2 years of being all together, and then boom, senior year, I ended up leaving. She left to Colorado. So now there's more time apart. So it's a tough thing, but I've been working on this last couple of years. We all getting better to get each other in the same area.
That's good.
Yeah, a flight ain't nothing but like a car to me. These days ain't nothing like a car to you either. So I mean, it's just like pull up. I bet.
Wow.
All right. It says that according to healthyholisticliving.com, it says the research that found having a brother or sister, no matter if they are younger than you or older than you or how many apart, has helped adolescents deal with harmful internalizing behaviors such as fearfulness, hesitance to stand up for oneself. The study also noted that while fighting between siblings can have negative outcomes later in life, if it offers an opportunity for children to learn how to make up and regain control of their emotions. According to P.S.A. Walker, it teaches communication and conflict resolution. Ooh. I could agree on that because growing up, I was very spiteful and grudgeful.
I can definitely see it.
And I'm gonna let you think I got you over, and I'm gonna get you later. That not now, but then.
I knew you was something else.
Oh, the tyrant.
Oh my!
I knew you was something. I was horrible. I ain't gonna lie. Behavior.
I was a statistic. I was very quiet, shy, and my parents were very dogmatic. They were like, "You stand up for yourself, like you do all of that." Fine, whatever. I'm fine. I'm fine. It's okay. But as I grew up and like with life experiences, especially with both of them, like I call them bulldogs as parents.
They short.
Well, no. Wait a minute.
No, I'm just saying.
Wait a minute.
Well, no.
What does short have to do with it?
Because you said bulldogs are short.
Well, no, like I just meant like the
turned in.
I mean,
they not pigeon-toed.
They like,
oh yeah.
They just very like they're very like forceful, aggressive, and so very voiceful. And I just was very quiet when it came to that. And as I got older, especially like dealing with them and like their mannerisms and stuff like that, you had to have a backbone or a spine. And I was the only child, and so they kind of taught me. And then even when I went off to school, like that kind of taught me like you got to grow up, you got to speak up, So. I
can't say with me, I was very quiet at one point, and I don't know what age I found my voice, but when I did, it was a wrap. Boy, I was just be talking. I used to go places, you think I was a mute. They're like, he don't talk, he just look. Nah, look and talk. Yeah, I know.
Man, that's funny.
Some myths about only children, and this come from Susan Newman, PD. Again, I like Susan. I'm going to have to take her out to eat. All right, so we're going to go over these and we're just going to kind of give our take on them. So the first one, which you kind of covered, this says only children are bossy. I can agree with that as a child. I don't think they always grow up and stay bossy.
Yeah.
I know some that are very much bossy.
Bossy like Khalees or bossy like, who else bossy?
Take control of the situation.
Yeah.
Because I got a friend like that.
Mm-hmm.
in high school, they felt like they had to take control of the situation every single time. And it's not going to happen. That's why we kind of like at distance now as an adult. So it's like, you know what you're dealing with.
Right. The next one, it says, now I'm going to agree to this one. I'm going to agree. It says, our only children have imaginary companions. I have several voices in my head. I talk to all of them.
Well, I never did understand that as a child. Imaginary friends. Even Barbies, I didn't get the concept of like putting a voice to a plastic figure. That was just me. But
so you play with your toys.
I would do their hair, but as far as let's walk, and then you making a plastic walk like that, it just didn't.
That was crazy to you.
To me, that didn't make sense. I'm like, why am I pretending? I forced myself to have an imaginary friend, and I was like, this is not working out. This is too much.
Your imaginary friend that fosters home for imaginary friends crying, looking for somewhere else to
It
go.
didn't come natural. I feel like for some people it comes natural. For me, like it was just a lot. I'll talk to myself a lot.
I still do that.
But as far as like other personalities coming out and here's Johnny, like that doesn't that doesn't happen. Like I'll talk to myself a lot.
Only children are spoiled. I know regular people that's spoiled. I know only children that's broke. So I know
a bunch of siblings that are spoiled.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
I feel like that's worse and creates more of like a divide in the house, because if one child get more than the other one, then it's gonna be like they're gonna have some resentment towards.
Yeah, but that mostly take cases when it's like, what I know, a lot of them went growing up, mom's friend, when the mothers got multiple baby daddies. And you got that one sibling's baby daddy take care of his child, so he's spoiling the child. And then you got that one sibling's baby daddy just don't give a shit, so that creates the issue as well.
That's a good scenario.
That's a great one.
Because that happens a lot. Yes.
You be like, damn.
Right.
You be like, oh, your daddy do all this for you. You know how it goes.
There go tension.
It says that only children mature too quickly. I don't agree with that, because some do, some don't. I don't agree with that.
I personally felt like I matured quickly.
Clearly, if you're telling you probably 5, like, why am I making a plastic doll walk?
I was very tomboyish, so I would play with like game consoles and stuff like that.
You had GameCube?
I had what was a portable thing?
PSP.
The PSP, and then we had the
Game Boy,
the shooting duck, the Nintendo, and I had the Mario and all of that. Like I had all of those games, but I preferred to play games or watch TV because it was less effort. To me, playing with Barbies was too much work.
Oh wow!
That's supposed to be relaxing.
I say maturing wise because I felt like I had to mature at an early age because of circumstances and being the oldest and having siblings. You feel like you got to be more mature because when you got younger siblings, you got, like I said, it goes back to being an example. And also around me, grew up different. So a lot of my friends also matured early. It was a good and a bad thing. So we found out stuff we weren't supposed to find out until teenagers. Like, so you know what I'm saying? Like it was more of a growing. It was like a good and a bad thing for me.
Yeah.
So.
It says that only children must have their way.
Right, I have to stay quiet with that.
Yeah.
I just want to be
y'all
like
on the highway, huh?
Well, no, I don't feel like it's that, but
not so much no more. I don't think.
But I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like people trying to count us out as only kids. And when you have the opportunity to be heard, it's like, not saying you got to take my way, but I just feel like, at least hear what I'm saying.
Yeah. And then it says only children are dependy. That ain't me
That's
at all.
Not me.
At all.
That's not me.
But that's a myth. And then the last one is obviously selfish. We didn't cover that 1,001 times. We'd already go off that. But it does says from the same website that every child at one time or another believes the world revolves around them. Selfish means you're thinking of yourself as opposed to others. And it says that all parents can expect their toddlers and teens to act selfishly at times. I mean, it's kind of just the name of the game. All right. So now tips and scenarios for the college students. Obviously, you only child and you go to college. It's going to be a culture shock for you living in a room with somebody. It was for me, especially somebody you really don't care for. And sometimes people don't understand, like, if you ain't in the mood. And there's a lot of stuff you don't learn till you really, like, I didn't learn, like, I really don't like being around people after a long period of time in the house. I saw EJ, shout out to her. She was talking the other time talking about how she want to be in a relationship, but then she just don't want people in her house for too long. Like, all right, when you leaving? Anything else? So, yeah, you definitely realize you have some moves or ways, and then of course, when you have a whole bunch of siblings, you might get some relief because you might have a house full of people. I know people that had siblings that came to college and got a spot by themselves, and then they didn't, and then some liked it and some didn't.
Yeah.
Because some people need people in their house. I'm not, but some people they need that.
Sound like it now. I love it because it's like you grow up and you got cousins over. And you saying like we in the house, top everybody on the floor, they over here. So you gotta wait somebody in the bathroom. Oh. So when you kind of sort of grew up there, you kind of like, man, you enjoy having your own stuff. Mm-hmm. Like I'm getting used to being, I love it. I'm used to it now. Yeah. Because at first it was hard. So I'm like, okay, this is really me, nobody. Mm-hmm. So when I first moved in there, anybody that was like, I'm not gonna lie, anybody that was attempting them, I'm like, well, I might need a play. Because it's part of me learning to be selfish. Yeah. Because like everybody that know me. Since I got to Houston, I've always had a roommate. Yeah. I haven't been through hell and back roommates. So this is the first time I actually get to sit back and enjoy my own peace, my own areas.
I feel like it was certain things I didn't know about myself until I went to college. Like something you said earlier was like I would just leave. I found it very awkward to say, "All right, y'all, I'm gonna leave."
Yeah, I don't like dapping everybody up.
I don't like it.
Hey, all right, so you like dap, hug. No,
I like
just
to
leave.
Fade. Just like, please, where you going?
That's what I did in space. They was over there talking to Jazz and Meaty, and then I just talked and I said. And I just disappeared. Meaty caught me, but I was trying to make sure they was facing that way, and then I ran it out. I like saying bye. I know it's not a safe thing, but because like, what if something happened, we go missing.
Yeah,
you don't know what happened to you.
I don't know what it is though. I don't like saying it. It's so awkward to me. I just rather leave. Like, just y'all keep doing y'all.
They gonna bring me back if they kidnap me. All right, so today we're about to end off with game time. Anyway, I don't have a fancy title for today's game. So, I'm going to call it 101.
Okay.
In today's game, you're going to pick one scenario or the other one. All right? I'm naming 5 scenarios. You're going to tell me whether you pick to have this only child or these group of children as your kids.
Okay.
All right, the first one. An only child that's smart, makes good grades, but who doesn't talk at all. Or 2 kids that fuss and fight all day, and they're also smart.
2 kids
that fuss and fight all day. Yes.
Okay, an only child that has anger problems all the time, or 3 kids where one is in juvie, one doesn't take anything serious, and one who is perfectly normal.
The one that got anger problems all the time. That's too much going on right there.
That is a lot. I probably would say the only child. They got anger issues all the
time. An only child who ends up being a school shooter, or 10 kids that are pretty low maintenance.
10 kids?
Wait, low maintenance?
Maintenance, yeah, like they don't
low maintenance.
They don't need a lot.
Yeah. 2 kids that are low.
You said 2 or 10?
10.
Oh, I do 10.
That's that St. Louis accent.
Cheap about a dozen.
Keep about I'm dead. All right. An only child that struggles with extreme pride and selfishness and highly annoying. Or 2 children who one struggles with ADD and the other struggles with real bad low self-esteem.
2 children, ADD, low self-esteem. Give me
that. Because the only child would have got his ass on.
And the last one. An only child with several personalities, like you never really know who you'll get that day.
That's you.
Or quintuplets.
Who?
Quintuplets. All of them come out at once. Oh, like the movie. You want the quintuplets?
Wait. No.
Oh, man.
I don't know. Maybe I don't.
That's a hard one.
The multiple. I can't do the multiple personalities one.
I feel like I probably would deal with the one child with the multiple personalities, as opposed to like caring for 5 individuals. I just
At
feel
once.
At once, it's going to be quite demanding as opposed to like 1 individual or 5 people living in their mind. I feel like there's medication to kind of tone down to at least 3 people.
At least they'll be funny. I ain't never met a crazy person that wasn't funny.
I dealt with a child like
I.e.
that. Multiple personalities.
Right.
She pointed at me, but I'm not crazy. All right, end of remarks. So, according to healthline.com, many psychologists agree that only child syndrome is probably a myth. One thing to keep in mind is Hall's research took place during a time where people lived in rural areas. As a result, only children were more isolated, perhaps with only adults to talk to. This isolation likely contributed to character traits like antisocial behavior, poor social skills, and selfishness. Only children in today's urban and suburban culture have plenty of opportunity to socialize with other children, practically from birth, at daycare, at parks, at playgrounds, and social, and school, during extracurricular activities, sports, and even online. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of my friends are online. I make a lot of friends online, and then they cool people in person. I've only met one's crazy.
Like Twitter or blackpeoplemeet.com? I'm just trying to...
Instagram.
Oh, okay. Well, I ain't know. Let the people know if you've been, you've been catting. Did I use it right? You've been catting on the hinge or whatever.
Catting on the hinge.
On the hinge.
It sounds like you about to say bring that wheelbarrow over yonder.
No, Hinge is a dating app.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, and let me say this on here. I do not have a Tinder account. I don't know who's lying saying I have a Tinder. I don't have a Tinder. I'm not judging nobody that do, but I don't have one. I'm also not on Plenty of Fish.
What is Plenty of Fish? Is that a Christian will?
That's what it sounds like.
Plenty of Fish.
To be on that.
He listening, losing his mind.
Wait, what makes this dating app different from everything else?
I don't know. They all the same to me.
Plenty of fish. Like, okay, all right.
There's plenty of fish in the sea.
See, I guess that's where they was going.
Okay.
Y'all got anything to say before y'all leave? I appreciate y'all for, flying to me.
Thank you for the drinks. I'll take a refill.
Yeah, he gave me V8 with a shot of Jose Cuervo. That's very different.
I'm going to cut that out.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, anytime. All right, y'all. That is it for today. Tune in next week. Remember, we only got like 5 episodes left. It may be 6, but I think it's 5. I'm going to let you know. That's still less than 10. P.S.A. signing out. Always remember, keep your head up like your neck hurt. Remember who you are. Make your mind up. Don't let it make you.
Carrot.